Yeah,
Okay, okay.
right.
And how many jobs would you be doing, Lawrence, if you don't mind telling me?
Probably 400 to 600 a year.
Okay. Say about 40 a month, 10 a week kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's perfect because when we started off here, we were doing about 20, 30 a week, and market slowed down. Probably we're doing 10 to 15 a week now in one of the franchises. This the demo I'm going to give you is basically going to look at the live data of a franchise, so you can look at the historical data, trends, graphs, and controls and things like that. And we can.
Okay.
This is from an Australian existing business. There's not a lot of
Okay.
difference when it comes to processing because you can customize it. And secondly, um, um, I do understand there's a lot of milestones that you got to cross before installation takes place from the order, right from permitting and all that stuff. How long it takes now to get a sense of time frame once you get the order to execution?
Probably about 30 days.
I see. Okay. Okay, that's not a lot. Um, Sometimes here it does go up to 6 weeks, 8 weeks, depending on the grid suppliers and things like that. So it just adds a bit more
Yeah.
complexity. What I might do, I will definitely focus more on the order processing, which is the crux of the whole model. But I will give you an overview of what the different modules do in the leads module and the quotes module, and then goes to sorry, I forgot to share the screen with you. I'll do that right now.
And unfortunately, I only have about another 10 minutes or so just because I need to get to a meeting. So I wanted to do the high level version now
Okay,
from there.
I think Chris has arrived.
Well,
Hi, Chris.
hey,
This is Monesh from Solar ECRM, and I got Shabri, who is my colleague, and Laurence.
all right.
Hi, Chris.
So you guys can see the screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Beautiful.
Yep.
So,
I think Lawrence has time limitations, so he was saying about 10, 15 minutes. So what I might do is just look at overview and spend a bit of a time on order processing so that if there's interest, we can have a regrouping again.
Great.
Okay, I'm going to log in as a corporate user. There are 7 or 8 different types of users: corporate user, franchisee user, and then there are a number of users such as lead generators from in-house or third party. There are in-house or third party sales companies, and then the operations, which is the has got administrators and things like that. So this is a dashboard. What you're seeing here, the orders processing was a big issue for us. Which is why you see that up at the top here. If you can define orders to go through multiple
Hmm.
stages, multiple statuses, and you can define that yourself. In this demo I'm
Hmm.
showing you here, there are a number of statuses defined for orders. For example, to be confirmed, or to be certified, okay to install, not okay yet, monitor, installed. So you can define statuses. What you see here is now in this particular franchise, there are 700 jobs, 2.5 megawatts completed. The one that they really track is the one which are on monitor, not okay. So this gives you a snapshot of the how many jobs are sitting in what different buckets, if I may say so. On the calendar here, you can look at any day and then see how many appointments are fixed for the sales reps, how many follow-ups are fixed for how many follow-ups are fixed for the sales reps, and also how many installations are booked. I'll just quickly take a look at that here. Here, for example, sales reps have so many appointments, and there's one installation booked on this particular day.
Hmm.
On the right side, you see here is like a ticker tape continuously being updated by different people in the organization. It could be sales rep, it could be installer, it could be back office people on every job as a communication takes place. So somebody sitting here can look at what's going on today.
Mhm.
Installation
Minister,
status, how many are planned this week? This helps in organizing stocks. How many are planned the next week? This and how many were installed last week? That is to make sure the collections take place, the documentation takes place, and that kind of stuff. This is may not be of much interest to you. This is a sales trend in kilowatts, and this is what you see here is a lot of lead nurturing. For example, here if you have different source of leads coming in, how the spread is from the beginning, and leads before they become orders go through a number of stages again. For example, here these are new leads which have come in, hasn't been assigned to a sales rep, and these are customers who have been as sitting as leads but have not been contacted yet, not reachable. So that helps us in buckets of leads. This is receivables from the installed jobs. As you can see, these are all current month's installations. There are some old outstandings here. Jobs have been completed but not collected. And then further you go down here, it's more of a sales performance over 12 months, 24 months, installation trend, month by month, and then how the leads are coming in for by each day and by each month. And then you start looking at leads by different state, and then look at the installations by sales reps. So there's a whole lot of analysis from the database that sits behind this, whether it's for the installations or for the late sales or leads, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the leads module, when the leads come in, they get assigned to sales rep. When a sales rep receives a notification saying he's got a lead assigned, for example, I'll just show you one here. He gets a notification, and then he can click on the mobile phone and look at the customer and look at the basic information, for example here. Then he can talk to the customer, and actually I'll show you in the quotation module, he can check the area available, how many kilowatts, and all that stuff, right?
Hey, Munesh.
Yes.
Did Laurence explain to you that we're going to be doing just installations?
Yes. I'm just going through very quickly the first two modules to show you how it works. And in the quotation stage, you can do the further analysis of the customer-specific or a site-specific outputs and financial modeling and all that stuff. And in the quotation, if the customer confirms, the job moves from quotation module to orders module. So this is where you want to really spend more of the time. Now, orders, you are not taking responsibility for the financials of the installations, are you?
For the installations, we're going to be tracking our own financials on that. So, I mean, supplies and man hours. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I suppose here we look at in this orders module a lot about the costings, a lot about the margins, a lot about the site-specific extras. So if you are financially responsible for the profitability of the job, then you would be looking at more details here. Whereas if you get paid for the job that you actually do, but the margin is not your issue, then I don't have to spend time on it. Those I was want to say. Anyway, the orders. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, it looks like it would be worth our time to do a quick brief on that, though.
Yeah, okay. Now, orders is where most of the time is spent because, you have it there, we have a number of approval issues, delays, permitting, and things like that. So it's very important for us to track jobs where they are. So here you get an extensive facility to drill down segments of jobs. For example, you could look at, if you define status, how many jobs are in OK to install status, how many jobs have been permitted, completed, and things like that. So when you look at that, when you look at the order tools, if you look at the sales stats, it does a detailed financial analysis of the jobs in that bucket.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming up now. It's a bit slow here, I think. Okay, here, for example, you look at in this particular status, for example, there are 11 jobs which are OK to install, total 46 kilowatts. That's the revenue total and different costs. The way we do it here, group the costs, hardware costs and the installation costs, sales costs, finance costs. And when you look at in the orders, you can break that into 4 or 5 different components of the cost. For example, if it's a hardware cost, you can break that out into panels, inverters, and racks and fittings and things like that. But it adds up here. In the end, gives you here what is a per kilowatt margin. Because every job is different, we found it's very important that we track the per kilowatt margins for the job. So you can do a lot of gross level analysis on the jobs. And there's also a number of trends you can look at. But I'll take you down to individual order now. Okay, in the order details, there are what we call stages. You can define these milestones again, depending on how your business requires, what your business requires. In a situation here, for example, we defined these many stages. Has a contract been sent to a customer? Has a deposit received? Have we received the signed contract? Does it require a grid approval? Have we lodged the document? Have we received the approval? This is the processing that goes through for the orders, and you can put deadlines here. For example, this is to be done on this date, and we're putting together here a person responsible so that that person gets a notification. So there's a different. This is what we call mini project management within an order. And there are background jobs that you can run at the end of the day or end of the week to show how many jobs are moved into a new bucket, and so that somebody who's in charge of, for example, design stage knows there are 5 more jobs that are coming for design, and he can execute those and then move it to the next stage. So that kind of a process management. And in the payment process here, it's got an integration with some of the financial packages. You can add payments here and generate invoice and receipts, which gets passed on to some of the financial packages. And when the job is assigned to an installer, you can assign the job to an installer. There are options you can look at how to group the jobs to assign to installer, and the installers get notifications. I'll show you what kind of notification if I go to installation here. Okay, I'll look at the. Oh, sorry, I need to log out here. Shabri, I can't see this in the corporate login, is it? Also,
No.
I'll have to log in as a franchise manager, is it?
Yes, you have to log in as a franchise.
What was specifically your requirement in managing the process, Chris?
Yeah, so I guess what we'd be looking for in managing it is being able to like track basically the status of the project, be able to track basic financials, and be able to. I don't know if this has the capability to like have us load documents on there, so specific project documents. So
yeah.
The CAD drawings, site assessment pictures.
Yep. That's all possible. This is the job pack, including the site, goes to the installer when you assign a job. Apart from the number of documents which are pretty specific local here, for example, electrical work request form that needs to be generated, which partly picks up data from the database, and a lot of data has to be filled in by the installer, which is like license numbers and a lot of things like that, and basically it prints out a form which can be uploaded in soft copy or taken at the print when it goes to the site for customer signatures and things like that. That's one of the forms.
Mm-hmm.
There are about half a dozen forms like this that are applicable for different states, and you can upload all kinds of documents right from the initial site inspection and pictures, and the documents can be categorized as to be accessible only in different modules. Like, for example, if it's the electricity bill,
Hey, Chris, let me call you back in 5.
that can be assigned to be seen only in the leads module. Whereas if it's the
Hey guys, sorry, I'm gonna dial back in a few minutes, okay?
all right, no worries.
By phone. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. And yes, you can upload all sorts of documents. Like, for example, I'll show you one here. See these documents here. It allows you to upload documents. There are no documents loaded for this here, but you can upload a document for this customer, which depends on what kind of a settings has been done here. Let's see. We haven't said anything here, Shabri.
I think there's no categories. That's what it is.
I see. Yeah, well, manage documents. Here you can set the types of documents. Okay, so if you look at this here, okay, default category, we can load this. It's not editable, right?
Hmm.
So you can, like, let's say for example, drawings. Okay, drawings. You can put all the drawings in one folder and call the document type as drawings. And when you upload a document, it's available attached to that particular customer.
Okay.
Yeah, there are a number of different setting options here. Let me take you to. Um, These are more for marketing people. If you set up an announcement here, sales reps, whenever they log in, they can see the announcements. You can modify that announcements. And this is to capture if people coming to your website create an inquiry,
Hmm.
that inquiry goes straight into the database in CRM. And here you can customize your quotations, customize your um, contract document. These are like one template here. You can customize this template to suit your needs. Again, this is more for the sales companies, not so much for operations companies.
Hmm.
But the critical one for you would be status management, which is can only be set up in the corporate level. So I need to log out and come back in again as a corporate user.
Okay.
Then I can show you what different how the status in each module, whether it's a leads module or it's a orders module, you can set up statuses and then set up also different stages that the order goes through.
Hmm.
Um, and we are also allowing the customers can log in and look up their status as to where the job is at any point in time. That's not available
Okay.
for sure, but that's one thing that's coming up. Now, this is what I was referring to as status management. Let's look at orders. These are the status that we showed you. So you can define any kind of status here to put labels and move the job from one to the other in an order.
Okay.
And then there are more statuses in the initial stages here. For example, leads, there is a definition of lead source, there's a definition of lead status, and also in the installation is something that you might be interested in. Once the order is assigned to the installation department, they may define their own status that the job goes through, and which again trackable at the head office level.
Okay.
If you look at the reporting, there's a lot of reporting available. I'm not sure I can show you here.
Yeah, I mean, because down the line
Yeah,
we're
the
going
reports
to.
are not in the corporate level. It's actually available in the
I see.
franchisee level.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Initially we spent a lot of time developing the orders because we had the same issue here. When there were a lot of rebates going away back in 2008-9 period,
Hmm.
everybody had a lot of jobs, but the issue was in tracking the jobs. So we actually spent a lot of time in developing the orders module to make sure we have a good control. I'll just show you this one, for example. This is the trend information based on either source of your business, whether it's sales reps or sales agencies. It could be state, it could be, again, it could be just the status, for example, completed jobs. And it could be if you're running a business with multiple franchises, you could look at different franchises.
Hmm.
First one is what you see is the just pure kilowatts trend for that particular uh, completed status, and then this is where you see graphical representation of cost. This is the base hardware cost, and these are I think the installation cost per kilowatt. Everything is drilled down to per kilowatt. Um,
Okay.
we we have it's totally a mass market product here in Australia. I don't think it is so in the US yet. In fact, solar has officially been categorized as the FMCG business. So everything is in numbers, and we had a lot of issue in understanding how each job is performing in terms of margin, in terms of lead times, in terms of customer satisfaction. So we
Hmm.
basically made everything standardized to on a per kilowatt basis, and this gives you the margin available by each month, how the trend is. There's also margin breakup available for different states, because here the rebates and cost structures for states are different, right? And then there are lots of reporting on the performance, mostly in terms of, again, kilowatts and margins and time frames. We also do extensive conversion analysis from leads to quotes, and quotes to orders, and orders to install. There's a very high rate of cancellation, which may be totally new for US market, but there's a lot of cancellation from the time the order is signed before it's installed and completed. So we spend a lot of time in managing retention of the customers, look at the issues. There are some identifiers. I didn't show you the identifiers here. Apart from the status, apart from the sales stages, we also use identifiers, okay, which is again a different way of tagging. Different businesses or departments in the business can use identifiers in a flexible way to tag it. I'll show you what I mean by that. You see here identifier. For example, if you have a special program which is more in the marketing terms, like a referral program, you can put this as an identifier, which is, you can see there are some already here, and so you can pull out the jobs which came from that particular referral program, and that's purely user definable, so it allows you a lot of flexibility. And there are 4 identifiers like this that different people use.
Okay.
I'm not sure how well we are tracking in terms of your requirements and what is in your mind, but this is what's his name? Sorry, I forgot his name. Your colleague, Laurence was saying that let's have a quick look at the overview right now today, and if there is some interest, then we can look at more detailed presentation later on.
Okay, well, yeah, just like my time was limited, but I think that gives me a good idea. Do you have some good online resources or like some trials that you offer?
Yeah, there is a free online trial. You can look at it, and there's also a demo version that I suggest to all customers to play with it, so that there's no need to worry about what happens if the setup is wrong, what happens if you create some wrong records. So best thing is to play in the demo version and then start putting the data on the free trial.
Okay.
Any questions?
Right, well,
anything you have in mind, Chris?
I mean, a lot of what we would be doing, since we're not doing the sales part of it and just installation, it would just be basically status management. It would be financials. It would be document management as well.
Yeah.
So just having one centralized place, because the quantity of projects that we're going to have is we're starting off 15 a week, and then it's probably going to double pretty quick and quadruple after that, and so it's like managing the quantity.
Yeah. I don't know if we could. You don't do the invoicing to the customer, do you? So that doesn't really apply to you. Who is
no. So we would basically invoice Sun Edison. So we're going and doing their installs. They have a sales and marketing team.
Yeah.
So we would be the installation team to basically finish off the project, but they're the ones invoicing the customer. We just invoice them.
So you're like a subcontractor and do you also use subcontracted installers who are not your employees but who are scattered around the state, for example, and who need to be informed, who need to have access to a system to see only the jobs that have been assigned to them, kind of a thing?
We're exploring that option.
Yeah, we have, for example, nationwide installers, and if an installer logs in, he will only see the jobs that have been assigned to him, and he'll work within that, and he'll be able to manage his bucket properly, and somebody can supervise at the back office.
And so this main installation tab is okay. So it's going to show you all of the installs, and then you can break it down per to specific foreman or contractor.
Yes, definitely. Like for example, here installer. He is one of the type of the users, right? And if you have a different user or different installers, you can pull those jobs that have been assigned to him. And
Hmm.
then again, a lot of other criteria here. So what happens in the
Okay.
orders? I get a an option to assign jobs to available installers, and we use Google Map to look at which jobs are nearby. I'll show you, for example, if I look at just one order here. It also allows you. I don't know who manages stocks in your case. Do they supply stock to the site, or do you take stock from your warehouse to go to the customer site?
It's going to be it's going to be both. So Sun Edison will provide packages of the main solar modules and the rail system, but then we provide
Racks and
the
stations.
basic electrical conduit.
Yeah,
So there's going to be a combination of both.
yeah. And if you use a third party or another installer who is not located in your office, do you do only in California, or where else do you do?
It's Nevada right now.
Nevada, is it?
Yeah.
I see. Okay. So it's quite likely that you would have installers who are not specifically based in your office, who will be out of sight.
Hmm.
Okay, so they get an
Yeah.
intimation as to when you assign a job to the installer. He gets an intimation, and you can send stocks through this module. And once he gets stock, he can install it, update the status, and upload the documents, so you can see what jobs have been completed and uploaded.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when he statuses a project, does that send like an automatic update to anybody, or does it have that ability?
Come again. Sorry. What is automatic what?
So different statuses of the project. So I saw on that previous screen it was just saying project status,
Yeah.
and so when that status is updated, does it send like an automatic update to the, you know, like could I send an automatic update to my operations manager and for
Not
that area,
all of
or how does that work?
not all of them. There are some jobs you can run in the background at the end of the day, changing
Hmm.
some jobs changing status from one to the other. A report can be sent to a particular person, and
Okay. Okay.
we are developing option where when you define a status, not all statuses require this kind of communication. So when you add a
Yeah.
status, if that
Yeah.
requires a communication, that's not available yet, but that's probably will be happening in the coming year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything that is missing,
Um,
top of your mind?
no, I think I asked all the questions that I had. So,
I do believe that we initially started building this package mostly to manage the process, order processing, and then we added
yeah.
leads management and quotation management. So this is probably where
Mhm.
we spent a lot of time in developing the control mechanism, and I think that's
Yeah.
what you would be interested in.
Okay. Okay.
Alrighty, so
Well,
we'll wait to hear from Lawrence. Is it? Is he coming back
he
now?
might have just been on a call that went a little longer than he thought, but I mean, I I can definitely relay the information to him. So I know
Okay. Okay.
he'll be relying on me heavily to determine the software that works well for us.
No worries. That's beautiful. Thank you, Chris. And I will wait to hear from Lawrence, and I'm quite happy to catch up with him again.
Okay. Well,
Thank you.
thank you for taking the time to go over your software with me.
No worries. See you, Chris. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye.